So
wholeheartedly,
with
maybe
you,
not.
when you come across this information or hear it or whatever, do you, what's your process like? Do you like absorb it and take it in and like um think about it for a long time, or do you tend to just like, oh, that's interesting, and then like leave it there and maybe like think about it some other time again, or do you go like research it?
No, I hear it, and I only give it any attention when there are articles that you can bring up to prove some kind of registry of this thing, right? Not necessarily somebody going on Wikipedia and writing.
Some sort of like fact.
Yeah, like you'd be like, did you know there's these declassified government documents of the government? What's the one on this YouTube channel, Bright Insight, that I was watching, where they were trying to, I think, some kind of government involvement in like the pyramids or something archaeological like that, and all of a sudden there's files that are declassified, right? So when it's an official government document of proving something like that, right, or at least an involvement of something like that, that makes me go, huh. Now, even though I didn't read that entire document, somebody's paraphrasing that, here's this document, look it up, and you might look it up, you might not. By knowing that there's an official government document, I go, huh, that's not just a campfire story. And then it kind of sits in the back of my head, and then I hear somebody else talk about it, and then maybe I'll watch a YouTube video or something like that. I don't even really can go that far, but then I don't go so into it. Like, I don't have time to go researching stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I will
I just
sometimes.
I
If I
just
find
consume-
something super interesting, I will actually either right then or later, like Google that whole thing
Oh,
and see like the facts or the information about it. Like prime example, we were watching Apollo 13 and you asked me, and I remember this was like a true story, and you asked me like, did this really happen? And I was like, yeah, but I wasn't sure if they like in the movie changed some things and made it like more dramatic or like what happened. So, and then I also don't remember when we started the movie like what actually happened, if anybody died or not. And so I like looked it up because I was really interested in understanding like what the truth was behind the story. But some stuff I hear it and I just like, I'm like, cool, but I just don't like, I kind of like let it go. And I wonder if it's just my, like, what is it I guess now I'm like trying to pick it apart. What is it that makes me interested in like researching that topic or whatever that is?
what makes you interested? I think you do like to get to the bottom. I mean, when you're interested in, because you were researching that Apollo 13, right? But then you're also,
And then we
do
were
your
like
research-
watching a show.
But you also, well, Peaky Blinders.
yeah,
we're talking
what
about
was
when
it?
was the Great Depression.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
that's right. Things like that.
But-
We were like, actually really want to know that.
Now, by you Googling something real quick of like, to read one line, it's not really. Can you really call that research? You just got to kind of look.
I will call it
No.
research. Yes, I will.
Do you do some like, if unless you're going out of your way to find multiple sourced articles or something like that,
Right.
that's
not
research.
Not just Wikipedia.
By you Googling one quick thing to read one
Yeah.
quick line and just to give you that idea of what really, what the story behind the thing was, that's not research. That's you just kind of looking it up.
That's
real
still
quick.
research.
That's not research.
Because you are looking something up for your information.
If that's the case, I am a researcher. I think I have, like you're asking me what my thought process there. I think I have a backyard, like the same way you would have a scrap pile of, be like, I don't want to throw this stuff away because I might use the wheels off of that for something else. I think I have like a scrap pile backyard where I hear what people say, and as long as there are some documentation approving it or some kind of thing, I'll keep it there and I'll get to it. And maybe like I'll stumble across a YouTube video, and then there'll be another research scientist that I'll listen to, or another podcast that I'll listen to help me kind of go back to that idea. But I don't throw everything out, I guess. To me, like there's some preposterous conspiracy theories, like they said like lizard people, right? Like and how
You don't throw that out.
that one is well, like
That one's close.
well, no, what they're calling about it is like people who like this is weird. I don't know enough about it, but
You know what? I've actually heard.
see, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, look it up. No, I've heard of it. People take like
No,
some kind of.
lizard people is when people are able to like shift faces or something like that.
Oh, like the shapeshifter or no?
Something like that.
kind of
I've
thing.
literally never heard anything more than like one liner about it. But there's just it's stuff like I don't throw everything out unless like to me it's fun to like look it up, you know, a quick Google. But it doesn't change me in terms of like I'm not sitting with a tinfoil hat anywhere. It just makes conversations for me so much more fun with other people when I hear little like addition to what they heard about it.
Yeah.
And then, nothing stands. Like, nothing about my life changes. But the one thing is always true is the human collusion
Part,
with information. That's the part that, to me, always is the only thing that's very true, right? Like, let's say, like, I don't believe the Earth's flat, but let's say the Earth is flat.
It is. Yeah.
It is flat. Or the moon landing. Here's a great one, right? Because or the JFK assassination.
Popular,
JFK
yeah.
assassination is a huge one right now. In fact,
Right
because
now,
of
it's always been.
no, it's even more huge right now because the guy who was writing a book on it, I forgot his name, but he had just tremendous amount of problems trying to get it published, and he kept getting defunded. And the more he started reading about it, the more he started bringing up proof of the JFK assassination and allegedly like who did kill him. Like there was like 3 bullets, 3 shooters. They found
I've heard that before.
in the gurney. There's the bullet, but there's more and more information that's being released. In fact, Biden was supposed to release the JFK files, the classified stuff, and
To prove that it was.
well, just public because everything can be declassified. And he promised that, I guess. But now he like postponed it. So you go, why are you
Why?
postponing it? Because they're showing proof of, from what I hear, the CIA's involvement in it and the mobs involved in it and a couple of other major kind of corporations and industries that are involved in it.
Can you imagine like the movies that will come from
Well,
that?
of course, of course. But again, going back to even something as innocent of a conspiracy theory as that, where like that the government's involvement in assassination of a president, you know?
It's crazy.
So that's the part is like humans getting in the way of what the truth is and manipulating it and then spinning a different story. And then we just kind of believe whatever comes out of it.
Interesting.
Hey, thanks for watching our Next Door Neighbors podcast.
And be sure to capture the full episode anywhere podcasts are streamed and including our YouTube channel, Next Door Neighbors.